been quite the busy week. YouTube, we're about to start up. We'll give it a quick start right here. Yeah, looking, John Arias going to Wolverhampton, that's pretty good. Si solo quiero ir a la final, ¿habrá boletos solo para ese partido? Me imagino que sí. We're going to do this live bilingual, folks. All right. Let's start up the live stream in another 20 seconds. We are going to do the stream bilingual, okay? Because that's how I roll. That's how I roll, okay? We're going to do it bilingual, so that way everyone can have access to this video. Lo vamos a hacer en los dos idiomas, bilingüe, pues para que todos podamos pues estar compartiendo, digamos, en esto de esta información importante del Mundial. YouTube, I'm about to go live in a second. Give me a minute. Everybody told you look like the guy that gives financial advice. I don't know which guy gives financial advice. So, I don't know who that is. And probably he's copying off of me, so go figure. No, I don't know who this person is, so I couldn't tell you. All right, YouTube, thank you for joining me today. Appreciate y'all. It's been a busy week. I know we were live on Monday and Tuesday. Have not been on since. Had family visit here in my home, so was not able to, be on too much. I was able to do some additional videos, of course. But apart from that, just spending time with some family. So I know I've been getting a lot of questions on my socials about, all these processes and, all this other stuff. So I think it's important that, folks, you watch my content. I know it kind of sounds like I'm just trying to avoid answering questions and not try to help you directly, but no, that's not the case. I definitely want to help people, but we're just trying to manage the inbox, right? I've been flooded with questions, and a lot of the content that I have been producing has probably already answered your questions too. And so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go over everything again, okay? And I'll answer your questions, okay? YouTube I'll answer your questions first as priority. TikTok, if you want your questions answered in priority, if you're here quickly, I can answer your questions quickly on the YouTube live stream, and then you can be off your way. TikTok, make sure you tap the screen in front of you so that we increase quickly to 1,000. Share the live. We're almost close to 50,000 followers on TikTok, which is crazy. I mean, we've built a very, very tight-knit community there on TikTok. We're building one on YouTube right now as well. I would really appreciate if we could get that to 50K. And the best way to get to 50,000 followers is if you repost the last couple of videos I've made, right? That's probably going to be the easiest way, because then as you repost it, then probably one or two of your friends are going to see the content again, and then you go from there. Those of you watching me on YouTube, comment on the live, click on the bell button to be notified, and subscribe if you have not subscribed, okay? I say I got another subscriber right here in the past hour. Those are all the ways that you can help in sharing this channel, and then of course helping it grow. And now that we got fully monetized, now it's the ad revenue. I'm not gonna ask y'all to watch all the ads. I know many of us skip it anyway. I did block the political ads, so you don't have to see Trompito in my channel. I blocked those, probably to my detriment, funny enough, because they probably paying like a ton of money, but I don't give a damn. I've blocked the political ads. You'll probably still be getting Liver King bullshit ads, but I can't control those necessarily. So yeah. All right, I'll answer questions at priority on YouTube, but I'll answer the first couple ones here on TikTok right off the bat. Before we get into review of, I did this video last night, but I figured we could do this again, okay? But we're gonna review the 5-question FAQ that FIFA posted on the website. This shit should be longer to begin with. I probably should send all these questions to FIFA and be like, here, motherfuckers, y'all need to answer these questions, not me. What the But anyway, here we are. Let me answer these couple of TikTok questions first. I'll get to you, YouTube, and we'll go from YouTube from there. How many days would you arrive to Mexico City before the start of the World Cup? I was thinking 2. Yeah, I mean, if you want to do some tourism, maybe even get there 3 days before. Folks, La Ciudad de Mexico is the biggest city in the Americas. Bigger than New York. So, if you want to explore Ciudad de Mexico, the bit that you can explore, get there a couple of days early, for sure. Yeah, man. I've registered my interest. Should we have 5 emails to register 5 times in order to get tickets? No, I wouldn't do that, because remember, at the end of the day, the tickets have to be assigned to a person. That's what I'm telling you, to get your passports. They haven't said that they're going to do the passport situation here, pero I would just stick with your email. Do it one time, because then they're gonna notice that might be bots, and then they might just block your ass. So just one email. Don't overthink it, folks. Okay. All right. Those are the questions on TikTok. Thank you again, TikTok. If you want your questions answered priority, go ahead and join me in the YouTube stream. Otherwise, you can chill here. You can watch, and you go from there. Do you think we should get TSA pre-check or global entry? Yes. You want to get the hell out of the airport as fast as you can. You want to get the hell out of the airport. All right. Roman Reyes, thank you for the viewership here. You think $8,000 is enough for two for 5 games in Mexico? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What do you think? Mexico's cheap? Absolutely not, my guy. The exchange rate right now. You know what? We should look at the exchange rate right now in Mexico, bro. Mexico's economy is getting strong, my guy. It's super strong. So like 20 US dollars equals 373, almost 374 Mexican pesos. All right, look at this shit. All right, what this is indicating is that, well, it looks like, well, this is one day, huh? Let's look at a month. Okay, right now it looks like you are, well, maybe not even 1 month, 6 months. Okay. So actually, the Mexican economy somewhat getting a little bit weaker. That's probably because of these dumbass Trump tariffs, okay? Because you are able to get more pesos for the dollar at the moment, okay? But back in March, March and February and January, the Mexican peso was getting really strong, but it seems like you're getting less Mexican pesos, more Mexican pesos for the dollar as opposed to earlier in the year. So still, having said that, it's not by that much of a difference. Yeah, it's like 18-1, right around there. I probably should have just done that, right? That's probably an easier. Probably should have just done that, right? 1 US dollar gets you, 18 to 19 pesos, obviously depending on the currency exchange that you're working with. But yeah, man, 8K. So that's $4,000 per person. And let me unfortunately burst your bubble right now with the prices over in Mexico City, okay, in terms of hotels, okay. And again, I highly recommend hotels, not Airbnbs. Again, given the protests that they've been having in the last week regarding, let's just do 5 nights in Mexico City. Let's see if they have that available for 2 guests, okay. Highly recommend that you do not do Airbnb, because the protests there have been very significant. People don't want y'all to support Airbnb. It's really ruining the local housing economy. So yeah, but if we take a look at, let's take a look at the map here, because the list is a little bit, look at that. Supposedly, these hotels are sold out. I think that it's a matter of they're just not making the rooms available. Okay. If we look at my favorite hotel, Plaza Reforma, Le Meridian Mexico City Reforma. That's actually a little bit cheaper than it was before. Cat, this is a 4-star hotel, chat. I haven't revealed how much it is yet. $1,159 a night. $1,159 a night, folks. Okay? A night. So what this is telling you is that $8,000 for 2 people is not going to last you for 5 games. And the reason for that is, okay, and actually I totally forgot to pull up my website with the calendar. The reason why that is not going to be enough is because if you look at the schedule of the matches in Mexico, okay, you're going to see what was the original request for 5 games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's say you do these 5. That gets you 2 in Monterrey, 2 in Mexico City, 1 in Guadalajara. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 días. 10 days that you're going to be in Mexico. That's 5 games. 10 days. That means you're going to need, at that price range of a 4-star hotel, because I'm guessing you're going with your special someone. Yeah, you're going to need just $10,000 at minimum for your hotel in Mexico. Now, if you have family to stay at, that changes the equation. Right? Because now those $10,000, you can put it towards the tickets. Okay, the tickets, you might be able to cover that for the tickets. But then you also have to consider food. It's not always going to be cheap unless si van a hacer tacos todo el día, pues that's not a bad strategy, don't get me wrong. Pero tienes que pensarla en ese sentido, ¿no? Souvenirs, the flights, right? How you're going to travel between the three cities. Again, de pronto que sea más barato, you're going to go with con las busetas instead of flights. Like, those things, that can help reduce the cost. But if, Roman, the key question for you is, if you're going to be booking hotels in Mexico, 8K is not enough. It's not going to be enough, a lo menos si te vas a quedar en las afueras de la ciudad, right, on the outside of Mexico City, and you're going to stay at 2 and 3 star hotels. Then it's not going to be enough. Pero if you have a place to stay, de pronto que sea suficiente. De pronto, right? And it depends on the games, and it depends on, transportation costs, food costs, etc., etc. So you luckily have family to stay. Bueno, then that should help, no? Pues claro, ya en el sentido ya se ayuda, no? That helps at that point, no? But for many of you, right? Because many of you have asked a very similar question regarding Mexico travel, right? Oh, is this amount enough for this? Put it this way, folks. A 4-star hotel is going to be charging around $800 to $1,000 a night. A 3-star hotel might be charging around $500 to $800 a night. Okay? Do that math. And you have to consult with the calendar. Okay? Because as you can see, Mexico's calendar, there's a lot of space in between the games. Okay? So if your strategy is to go to Mexico for, say, 5 games, pues vas a tener 10 días. I'm not going to say gastar. Apologies. I didn't mean it in a bad way. Pero vas a invertir. You're going to invest 10 days in Mexico for 5 games, which of course means you're not watching any games in the US, you're not watching games in Canada. And maybe that's your strategy. And that's fine, right? You're going to go to the fan festivals. You're going to enjoy your time in other ways. Está bien. That's a great strategy, right? But keep that in mind. If you're having to pay for hotels, it is going to be expensive. That means, of course, how do you make that less expensive? Using your points, right? Because if we go back to that Marriott map, and I'm updating it right now. Give me a second. Okay. If we go back to this Marriott map, okay, to that same hotel. Oh, I can't use my points? Ah, damn. They were allowing me to use my points the other day, but it was a non-cancellation. Okay? Yeah, so you see, they're not letting me use the points. Okay? Maybe I can do it for 3 days. Maybe I can do it for 2 days. That might be the only way that I might be able to pull this off. Pero, let's just check. Maybe instead of doing a 5-night stay in Ciudad de Mexico. Oops. Should have just updated the dates here. Maybe instead of doing a 5-night stay in Mexico, we get there the night before, digamos. Hagamos 3 noches. Listo. Hagamos 3 noches para ver si me dan el precio on the points. That's one way to do it, to save money, is by acquiring the points and miles of a certain loyalty program to help you save money. A ver, ¿me lo va a dejar hacer? No. Okay. So they're just looking for cash right now. Okay. Obviamente, as you saw in this map, there's other hotels on the outsides. But then you have to take into account, if you're going to save money on that way, you're still going to have to pay a lot of money for transportation coming into the city. So that's all part of the back and forth of the planning and of the strategy, having an idea of how much you're going to be spending money for this. Okay? Sheesh, I went last year and I paid $350 for 2 nights. Imagínate, así está la vaina. If Portugal makes it to the finals, is there a possibility for the finals to rise because of Ronaldo being at the finals? That could be part of the dynamic pricing that FIFA might want to do, but I don't know. They have not really been too keen about telling people, oh, if a certain team makes it to the final, then we'll raise the prices, right? They're never going to say that. So just be mindful of that. Check prices on Airbnb are going up too. I'm not going to check Airbnb because I'm anti-Airbnb. I'm trying to be very mindful of the wishes of Mexico City residents to not have y'all support Airbnb, even though I will say that is one of the things that I do think President Sheinbaum did get wrong. She might have wanted to promote tourism, but she has unfortunately created a housing crisis in Mexico for the local residents. You're seeing this in other cities too, in Miami, Especially Miami has been having an issue with Airbnbs for a long time. So yeah, man, like I don't want to be promoting Airbnb. I'm always gonna be an anti Airbnb travel stand. I get it; it makes sense for some families, and I've used Airbnb before. Just for pure disclaimer, I've used Airbnb before, but I do think that at some point we have to be mindful of how we're impacting the local communities that we're, traveling for the World Cup. And I don't think this is the right way to travel. I know hotels are more expensive. I get it, but are they? That could be the first question you should ask yourself. Airbnbs have cleaning fees. They have all these crazy other housing hidden fees associated with the stay that impact you. And again, it might be cheaper for you, but the costs that you're passing down to the local community is not good. Okay, so I'm trying to just promote better tourism. I just realized the World Cup starts on a Thursday. Yeah, man. World Cup starts on a Thursday, folks. Okay. Now, I did want to point this out, and I am gonna put this on a video. Okay, yeah, it starts on a Thursday and it ends on a Sunday. Okay. I want to point this specific thing out. Okay. This might be some of the ways that they're already screwing with us with dynamic pricing. Okay. You notice some of these games and some of these stadiums are more expensive than others. That's the first way that they're doing dynamic pricing with the hospitality tickets. Be ready for that to be a similar situation for the regular tickets. The games at some stadiums, right? Again, stadiums. We're not talking about teams. Some games at some stadiums might be more expensive than others. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because when you look at the hospitality offerings, you can see that New York more expensive than Boston, more expensive than San Francisco, and I do think this comes down to, obviously the contracts that FIFA and the stadiums had to work with. There's a lot of factors involved here. It could happen for the regular tickets, so be ready for that. The other thing I did notice, okay, is that when we do weekday versus weekend, check this out. Weekday, you see these prices, right? $1,500, $1,400, $1,500, $1,350, $2,000. Okay, Dallas. Okay, that's shit. Maybe they've sold out of the cheaper products, right? But for the most part, yeah, it looks. Look at that, Dallas. Even on a weekday, it's $2,000. But if we switch this to weekend, okay, now you see the prices being a little bit higher. Dallas already $2,100, so they're already up $100 just because that game's on a weekend. Okay? So I want you to be mindful of that. Okay? As you consider purchasing either the hospitality tickets, either for the regular tickets, they might do a similar thing here. Okay? They might do a similar thing. So part of your World Cup travel strategy is also going to have to take into account, okay, do I go to a weekday game and get that PTO? Or am I going to try to get like a family or a group together, go on a weekend game? So all of that already is like, that is where I feel where dynamic pricing is being baked into the pricing. It's not going to be the dynamic pricing that we're used to with Ticketmaster. Where like, it might still be, mind you, it might still be, but these are the ways that they're baking in dynamic pricing into tickets. They're already doing it with the hospitality. Do not be surprised if they do this as well with the regular tickets. Okay, questions. What is the estimated time for the finals to start? 3 p.m. That's what Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey said. All of our Hispanic dads working on Thursday. I know, man. We're going to have to try to work hard to get them free on that. All right, does Ciudad Mexico have good transportation? Damn good public transportation. All right, it's just a lot of people using it. But Ciudad Mexico has very damn good transportation. Ciudad Mexico has better public transportation than, comparing the 16 host cities, better than Miami. Better than at least Philadelphia at the moment because Philadelphia is on strike. Or at least they're like having budget cuts apparently. Better than Boston. Better than Dallas. Better than Houston. Dallas doesn't even have any to go to AT&T Stadium. Better than maybe San Francisco, depends on the distances. Yeah. So that Mexico has better public transportation than almost or most of the U.S. host cities. Facts. Better than Boston. They have very good public transportation in Ciudad Mexico. If you haven't been, that's that. Am I doing any hospitality? Probably not. Not at these prices. I don't think so. I'd rather do hospitality in Saudi where I know they're going to take care of me. Imagínate esa mierda, bro. Because they're going to subsidize it because they're going to want to show people a good time. I'd rather do it over there que aquí. Although, not going to get me, don't get me wrong, Philadelphia, for the price, looked very solid. For the price, it looked pretty solid. Yesterday, I checked the prices of hotels in Santa Clara, and it's $600. ¿Qué te dije, mi gente? ¿Qué les dije? Los hoteles iban a querer cobrar también. Andres, thank God I have a shitload of points saved. Exactamente, just as I've been telling y'all people to do. You know? Half family in New Jersey, so I got somewhere to stay, but how much can food cost? Imagínate, depende como comes, hermano. It depends how you eat. Highly suggest if you've never driven there to hire someone to get or get public transportation. Yeah, it depends on the stadium, I'm guessing. Oh, you're talking about Santa Clara there, Luis? Possibly. Caught the stream today. How's everything, man? Any interesting updates? Well, the interesting updates, and actually we could swing into that. There's a 5-question FAQ. I know, 5 questions only. Only 5 questions on the FIFA website about about the World Cup thing. It's wild. But I think the two interesting updates are these, okay? And I cover these on separate social videos on social. Pero I wanted to talk about it here and let you ask questions, and we can take it from there, okay? En Ciudad de Mexico. Got it. Ahora, here's the first part, right? We're gonna go ahead. First phase September 10th, right? We all know this, okay? Follow along. First phase September 10th. After you create your FIFA ID, which many of you should have done that already, okay? You will be able to register your interest in participating in the first sales phase. Once you register, you will enter a random selection draw for the chance to purchase tickets. Okay, so you're gonna enter, you're gonna register your interest, and then on September 10th, you're gonna be entered into this draw. If you're selected, you'll be assigned a specific time slot to purchase tickets on a first come, first served basis. Which tickets? We don't know. Which packages? We don't know. USA, Mexico, Canada available? We don't know. But this is how we're going to do phase 1. This is how we're going to do phase 1. Okay? That's how we're going to do it. Okay? So I did find that to be the interesting point here, that it's basically, if you're picked, you're going to have a time slot, you're going to shop around, pick the tickets. I hope that they tell us ahead of time which tickets are available to pick, so that way we have an idea of what to pick and we're not frantically shopping around, and then we purchase. Okay? The other interesting thing that I did think that is very important, I think, for a lot of us to know, is that you must be at least 13 years of age to register for a FIFA ID. So basically, anyone 13 and over should have a FIFA ID, and at least 18 to purchase tickets. So if any young bloods are watching me right now on the live stream, or they're going to watch this video afterwards, you young bloods cannot be buying tickets for the World Cup. You got to have your parent or anyone 18 and over, should be your parents, to purchase your tickets. Okay? So have your parents buy your tickets, young bloods. But 18 and over. You got to be 18 and over to buy the tickets. Okay? So I do think those were two very, very good, interesting points of information that we got new compared to what we had gotten on, what was it, Monday, Tuesday. Okay? So yeah. The capital is so difficult to drive in if you never driven there in Mexico City. Yeah, look, I would never drive in Mexico City. I wouldn't have the confidence. It's funny. I would not have the confidence to drive by myself in Mexico City. Give me some Ubers, like, damn. Mr. Edits, just follow these steps right here on the screen. Just go to FIFA.com/tickets and create your FIFA ID, folks. It's really that straightforward. Sounds like the hospitality if you put a deposit down. For what? There, UW. Just reserve the hotel night in Mexico City for $800 for 4 nights. All right. Luis, again, make sure that if you book directly to the hotel, fantastic. You probably pulled off a coup there. Yes, but call the hotel. Okay, so you didn't. Call the hotel to confirm, okay? Because I will say that's kind of the risk of using these third-party sites like Expedia, Priceline, and whatnot, is that they might not tell the hotel, oh, by the way, this person did book a reservation. Can you still honor it? No? Oh, well, oops, shit. Sorry. You're out of luck. You got bumped. They don't have no more space. You don't want that to happen to you, okay? So always, if you're going to use these third-party websites, call the hotel directly, confirm that the reservation is there, get a reservation number directly from that hotel, so that way you have peace of mind. But $800 for 4 nights is not bad. Good job. Start looking at those types of deals. Sounds like the hospitality, if you put a deposit for September 10th. It sounds like it, yes, like how that process worked. Correct. It sounds like how that worked. True. That's true, UW. Is the random number you're going to get based on how quickly you do it? Don't know. I'd be pressed to believe that they're going to be able to measure that. I appreciate your info. Yeah, glad to help. Glad to help. TikTok, make sure we keep tapping the screen in front of you. Let's get to a quick 1,000 and share the live. Repost my videos as well, please, TikTok, because that is the way that we're going to get to 50,000 followers. We are so close now to get to 50,000 followers. Like, man, I just want to do it before they ban TikTok. I just want to get to 50K followers and be like, hey, I got 50K. All right? I had 50K. But then, of course, thank you for the follow there. Thank you for the follow. Now, I do encourage y'all on TikTok, also subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on Insta. I know we don't like Insta too much. But watch all my videos from now on until September. How much will the finals tickets cost? We don't know. We don't know the ticket prices, all right? I'm not really going to try to predict either, because what's the point? What's the point of predicting these ticket prices when we don't even know? Okay? We don't know. All right? Now, I know many of you have asked about, hey, what the hell happened to my RTB? Happened? I thought I was supposed to be first. Well, I don't know. Join the FIFA Colette Discord server. I'm going to go back into it and read any updates that they might have, because it's true. You guys were promised that you were going to have first dibs, right? You guys were promised that you were going to have first dibs. And thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub there. Thank you, folks. Thank you. Yeah, you guys were promised first dibs into these tickets, and you might not get the first dibs. Like, what the that's terrible for y'all, okay? So join the FIFA Discord server, okay? Join that server. Ask your questions there, because I've not, unfortunately, kept up too well with them, okay? But yeah, do that. Does everyone in the group need a FIFA ID if only one person purchases tickets for us? Yes. Everyone 13 and over needs to have a FIFA ID. Everyone 13 and over needs to have a FIFA ID. Okay? It's FIFA Colette. Yeah, FIFA Colette Discord server. That's correct. But yes, everyone 13 and over, get a FIFA ID. Okay? We don't know the ticket prices yet for nobody. Okay? We don't know any of the ticket prices for nobody. The RTB amount deposited will be applied to the ticket. That's the assumption, I think. They probably get the early time slots. They probably do, UW. That's probably what they do, okay? So, for example, we have one FIFA Colette drop pack available in the drops. City Glory Dallas for $250. Buy into your favorite city and unlock one right to buy to a FIFA World Cup match. Each pack randomly grants a match for multiple possible options from group stage to round of 32. So if you buy this pack, you will get an RTB for one game, okay? To be precise, one RTB, 2 tickets if the match is in the group stage, which is probably the one you want, or one RTB if the match is in the round of 32, which then that means you're paying $250 for one ticket extra, okay? In this pack, you might find RTB for one of 7 different random matches, including M88, that could be played by the U.S. national team, depending on its path on the tournament. Probably if they finish third, they could end up in Dallas. Because the only other way, I think, would be... Do I have that right? Is it third place, or is it... Do I have that right? Let me pop up my Pathways to Glory item over here. Pathways to Glory. USA. Oh, no, excuse me. If they finish second, that's right. If they finish second, they could be in Dallas. Okay? So, my bad. Yeah, they could be in Dallas if they finish second in their group. Okay? So, that's what this pack is. Again, if you are a USMNT fan and you want to, have first dibs into buying those tickets, this might be worth it for you. Or if you live in Dallas, you're not going to travel, you want a good game, this could be worth it for you as well. Okay, this could be worth it. Okay, this isn't the craziest drop pack that they have done. I am a little bit surprised that they only have Dallas right now. I don't know. I mean, I know they've had other ones before, as you can see here. But I am a little surprised that it's just Dallas right now. But it is what it is. Okay. How much were my tickets to the last World Cup? Look, they were two. What was it? There were two or $300 for both tickets. I think it was, or $300 each. But it's no point in trying to go with that, man. The Qataris subsidized the tickets to the last World Cup, so it's not a good barometer. It's not a good thing to compare it to, because the Qataris subsidized the ticket prices, so that way they were cheaper for people. So there's not going to be none of that happening in 2026. Do you recommend getting into the random ticket drawing or just buying regular tickets? Again, apply. Why wouldn't you apply? Apply September 10 to have the first shot at it. If you want a game in your city, if you want to go to a specific game like the inaugural, like the final, semifinal, third place, that's why you want to apply if you want to go to one of those games. Okay? Will you be able to sell tickets on the FIFA Marketplace? You would be able to. You can only sell them one time. Okay? Yep. Keanu. That's exactly what I did in 22. I had France-Tunisia group stage match, the third match day. We sold those. We went to Brazil-South Korea, round of 16. Any chance on the video con más detalles Absolute Sport with price and maybe some additional details? Ernesto, yo te puedo mandar esa información si quieres de Absolute Sport. Te lo mando directamente por email. Okay? I can send it to you via email. So yes, folks, I am partners with Absolute Sport. I am earning a commission on sports travel packages that we are offering for next summer. They include your hotel, your game day transportation, and your ticket to the game. They're official travel partners with CONMEBOL, which is why they have access to that inventory ahead of time. But, and I cannot stress this enough, you have to buy the package. Hotel, the transit, the breakfast, the all the other additionals that they have. They do not sell tickets alone. It's the whole package. So if you were thinking of, for example, going to the inaugural, okay, you don't have a hotel, you don't have a place to stay over there, you're trying to find tickets, consider Absolute Sport. Because as you already saw, hotel prices are already going to be crazy AF. Whoa, what are these new drop packs? They literally just dropped this right now. Oh, shit. Yo, chat, did you just see that? My page just literally refreshed. And they just decided to drop packs for Guadalajara, Ciudad de Mexico, San Francisco. Oh, my God. Literally breaking news. Monterrey, Atlanta, Toronto. Uh-oh. Ay. For all the cities. Esto es para todas las ciudades ya. Yep, Seattle. Ay, hueput. They just literally dropped this shit now. Monterrey for $579. Now, I'm not surprised. Mexico City, $1,000. Se sabía. In 33 minutes. You just missed it. They literally just dropped these packs. Chat, YouTube chat. Let me know if you saw that on the screen. Let me know if you saw that on the screen. Folks, that's why you need to join my YouTube live stream, because you guys ain't seen the full thing. Y'all are listening right now on TikTok, but you got to join the YouTube live stream. There you go. UW Night. Great deal. All I'm saying, if you want to go to Mexico on a better price than what they're going to be selling, hit me up. All right? So send me a DM. Dale. Send me a DM afterwards if you want the information for Absolute Sport. Look, comparing all other things, it's not a bad deal, okay? And that's why I partner with them, because they're offering you the whole thing. Dropped yesterday, they're more expensive today. What, the city packs? Probably. So, Ernesto, send me a DM on Instagram or TikTok. Y ahí hablamos. We will get free travel like they had for Qatar? Absolutely not! Well, okay, in the U.S., no. You're not getting free public transit in the United States. I don't know what they're going to do in Canada. Mexico, the only city that said they're going to get free transit was Guadalajara. But I don't know the extent of it. But in the U.S., you're not getting free transit, folks. And now you have to understand this. The poor people use public transit the most in the United States. And they were going to raise the prices to use transit on poor people to subsidize people coming here to get the transit for free. That I was not in agreement with. Okay? So this is the FIFA Collect Drop website. Collect.fifa.com. MexicoPlayAway.com. Okay, and I go to the drops. Okay, so again, watch my entire playlist. Watch my entire playlist on the right to buys. Is it good for you? Is it not? The different options. Watch that first, because not every pack here makes sense for you. Okay? Let me go through the questions right quick here. Is there a possibility of Mexico playing in Dallas? No. Bueno, if they finish second in their group, and then they go to Los Angeles, then Houston, then Boston, then Dallas. Llegan a la semifinal. But realistically, you want Mexico to finish first so that they can stay in Ciudad de Mexico. Then they go to quarterfinals Miami, and then Atlanta. Okay? Is the lottery on September 10th, or do we get informed before the date? No, it's September 10, mi gente. September 10, you need to be on a computer. Si van a querer comprar boleta, September 10 is your date. No vayan a joderla. No la vayan a cagar. All right? Just came from TikTok. Dollar, Jasmine, appreciate it. How much for Seattle? A ver. All right, so let's go back to the packs. All right, let's go back to the packs. So, let's do Mexico City first, and then I'll do other cities, okay? Porque I want people to see the pros and cons of doing these RTBs, okay? I want to see that, okay? Is it free to go to a fan fest? For now, some of them have said yes, but I'm getting more information on that. Dynamic pricing on the RTBs. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. That is correct. There's even dynamic pricing in the right to buys. Of course there would be. They're obviously pricing the Mexico right to buys more expensive. Okay, so we're going to go over most of them, okay? All right, Guadalajara, right quick. So it looks like for these RTBs, they're gonna be a little bit different per each city. But for $619, you will get a RTB to 2 tickets to a random group match in that city. Y recuerda que Guadalajara only has 4 group stage matches. Okay? M2, M28, which is a Mexico one. So are they gonna allow the Mexico one here? Hold on. A ver. Espérate a ver. No, they're not gonna allow M28. Haha! No lo iban a dejar así tan fácil. M2, M48, M66. No lo iban a dejar así de fácil. But they're only dropping 18. Okay? So, if you buy the Guadalajara one for $619, you get an RTB for 2 tickets, probably Category 3, to one of those 3 group stage matches, not the Mexico M28. Not that one. Por eso tienen que... You need to look into it, right? You need to do your shopping around, okay? So, if you really, really want to go to one of those games in Guadalajara, you could buy the RTB. Pero again, do your math. Do you have enough for the hotels? Do you have enough money for everything else? If you don't, then skip it. Para Mexico, for $949, Desmadre, we have Absolute Sport has all the categories. That depends on how much you want to pay. So again, if you're interested in having that information sent to you, send me a DM. I'll email you the info. Okay? A ver, para Ciudad de Mexico, $949. You will get a city theme pack. Okay? For that game. So to be precise, you can get 1 RTB for 2 tickets if the game's in the group stage, and 1 RTB if it's in the round of 32. Okay? Now, in this pack, you might get the RTB for M79, which could be played by Mexico. Okay? So they're not giving you the RTB for 2 tickets for the inaugural. Yeah, right. Or for M53. Okay? Because if you look at the supply, ¿ves? It's either M24, que es esta acá, Grupo K, or this one, M79. Que, if Mexico finishes first in their group, then they will play at Estadio Azteca. So this is for $949, but you would only have the RTB for 1 ticket for that round of 32 match. And so again, important to understand here, it is on... Luis, I was going to answer that question. I want everyone to give yourselves 10 seconds for this answer. Luis asked, does the RTB money, the amount of money that you're spending for this right to buy, apply towards the ticket purchase? No. No. FIFA's not your friend. Ellos quieren su plata. They want you to spend $1,000 so you can go to the front of the line. That's it. They don't. No, tienes que comprar luego la boleta después. Ya que de pronto sea otros $1,000. What they're basically saying is, how much do you love Mexico? How much do you believe in Mexico? Que van a llegar a ese partido ahí en el Estadio Azteca. Que van a llegar a primer puesto. Tiene la alma. How much do you believe, people? How much do you believe that Mexico will be in that game? Give us $1,000 so then you can buy the actual ticket. That's it. That's why I was saying these RTVs aren't always worth it. You love Mexico, but I'll wait in the line. And so I see other questions here. Should I buy it for Dallas? Should I buy this? It all depends on your World Cup travel strategy. If you're not traveling outside of Dallas, you're not traveling outside of Miami, might be worth it. Because then at least you can get to the front of the line and then buy the ticket. But whatever you spend on these RTBs does not get applied to the ticket. Como el profeta del gran Chicharo. Ahí que creen cosas chingonas. Imagínate, hermano. Imagínate. Así está la vaina. Como decimos los colombianos, así está la vaina. Oh, man. It ain't no down payment. It ain't none of that. Y'all should have checked out the market for Mexico games RTBs. Yes. We can actually check it right now. All right. Well, we'll come back to the city packs. All right. RTB Mexico City. You'll see what's available on the marketplace right now. All right. So it's just assuming you will buy a ticket. Well, no, if you buy the RTB, you get to the front of the line to be able to buy the ticket. A ver, is there one for the home opener? Yeah, here it is. RTB for Mexico City Match 1. Iconic. You get one ticket. The cost of it, though, is $2,825. Again, not applied to the cost of the ticket. This is just for you to get to the front of the line to be able to get that Azteca ticket, okay? So, woo. Thanks for pointing that out. And Eduardo, you're absolutely right about that as well. All right? So, this is why, since we're talking about FIFA Collect, which is supposed to be a separate entity, let me put it this way. If you were willing to spend $3,000 on an RTB that does not apply for the cost of the final ticket, and you don't have your hotel, and you don't have game day transportation in Ciudad de Mexico, and you want to go to that inaugural, you might as well consider the Absolute Sport package. Because at least you get your hotel, your game day ticket, and your game day transit, your breakfast, everything else. Not at that exact price, pero if you're willing to drop 3 G's to get to the front of the line, you might as well secure your shit right away with the Absolute Sport package. So, DM me for further information, okay? And see if it makes financial sense to you. But yeah, again, it might not make sense for most of you to buy an RTB pack, okay? So let's just go. I mean, you can go through each one of these cities yourself, but let's go through Seattle as a separate example here. Where's Seattle? Me gustaría de Monterrey for sure. All right, ¿dónde está Seattle? Vemos Seattle. For $259, you get the RTB, one RTB for 2 tickets in the group stage and 1 RTB in the round of 32. And again, it is not for the U.S. game, okay? Because the U.S. game is M32. As you can see, they're not giving you that. Folks, it's the same thing for Houston, for Dallas, for any of these cities. They're going to give you more than likely an RTB for 2 tickets for the group stage or an RTB for 1 ticket in the knockout, in the Miami one. Okay, in the round of 32 one, okay? Monterrey is going to be the same thing here. one RTB for 2 tickets in the group stage, 1 RTB for 1 ticket in the round of 32. It's all going to be the same. Okay? So the question that you need to ask yourself is this worth it? For most of you, probably not. Saludos desde Houston. Dale, Jonathan. Muchas gracias, muchas gracias. All right? So for most of you, again, unless you're going to not travel, unless you're going to stay in that city and you want to go to a game in that specific city, maybe the RTV makes sense. But again, the cost that you're putting in for that RTB does not get applied for the final price. The Toronto pack has Canada's opener. A ver. Toronto. Wow, only for $4.19. If that is true, let me see. It does. That's interesting. Okay. This might make a little sense. Even though it's for $419. Thank you for pointing that out about Toronto. I didn't think that was going to be the case for Toronto. Okay. They do have M3, which is Canada's home opener. I don't know if that's a mistake or not. I don't know if that would be a mistake or not. That's interesting. Because that could make sense. Because it would be an RTB for 2 tickets in the group stage. And the home opener is that. No, but it doesn't look like it's a mistake because they indicated it here. Interesting. Okay. So if you want to go to Canada's home opener, it might make sense. Again, depending on your spend. Thanks for the find there, Weewoo. Okay, so this might make sense because this Canada's home opener. That's interesting. You know? BN Sports are reporting prices for the tickets when they start. Are they true? I don't know. I haven't seen the report from BN Sports. You want to send me the link? I'll check it out. Am I still doing the $40 consultations to help with planning for the Travel World Cup? Yes. Thank you, Oscar. Quick plug here. So you can visit my website. All right, quick ad plug of sorts. You can visit my website, travelfootballfan.com. All right. And you can go ahead and book your consultation with me in case you need help with your World Cup travel planning. Okay. You're going to go over down here. You select the date that you want to have the consultation with me. You complete the travel form over here. And then we'll go from there. I actually have 3 consultations to do today. So that means people are already jumping on their travel planning. So if you've been not proactive and not planning your travels, may I advise you to do that as soon as possible. So thank you to all those that have signed up already for a consultation. Like I said, I have 3 today. Go ahead. You can sign up for the consultation, $40 for 30 minutes. Again, not to toot my own horn, but I've had other travel content creators tell me that the value that I provide in that 30-minute consultation is worth almost $500. I'm only charging $40 because I want y'all to be able to make it to the World Cup at an affordable price. Or else I would have done like a masterclass. One of the masterclass, you know, me walking down the stairs like freaking that astronomer guy. I'm gonna teach you how to win in life. Nah, man, $40, I'll help you out. Go out there and make your World Cup dreams a reality. Let me charge brands instead for that money. So yeah. Thank you, JMR, for the follow there on TikTok. Appreciate it. Again, TikTok, thank you so much for your viewing. Of course, we're live streaming on the YouTube if you want to see the screen there, but thank you for listening in on YouTube. I very much appreciate it. All right, folks. We got questions. I got one consultation at 11 a.m., so we got about like 10 minutes left before I do got to end the live. But questions, okay? We could do a quick summary here. There is a short, quick FAQ of 5 questions on FIFA's ticketing website. If you want to take a look at those questions, I also made videos about it. Again, we talked about potential dynamic pricing already being baked in to the hospitality tickets, so do expect that to be the same for the regular tickets. Weekend games are more expensive than weekday games. Games at some stadiums are more expensive than others. I will not be surprised if FIFA decides to finesse us of our money in these different ways. They're baking in the dynamic pricing in this way. It's not the traditional dynamic pricing of Ticketmaster. And again, we've also confirmed for the most part that we are not doing this through Ticketmaster, or at least, you know, based on question 1 and question 2, where, you know, FIFA's telling us how to buy the tickets. So it's going to be probably a similar platform like this one that they have with On Location for the hospitality tickets. Now at this point, we're more than likely not doing this through Ticketmaster, which is a win in some respects, but they are baking in those those dynamic pricing into the final price of these tickets. So that is a bit unfortunate. Will we have times for matches confirmed by September 10th? That is a good question. I don't know. It would make sense if they had the times, so that way we could start figuring out travel a little bit. But who knows? Best way to save money if I want to watch the final World Cup game. Well, open up that high yield savings account, HYSA. I do have a referral link on my website for one particular credit institution, Ally Bank. You can earn 3.7 APY. It's not the highest one, but it is a very solid bank, online bank for your high yield savings account needs. If you use my link, you will earn an additional amount of money, if I am not mistaken. You will earn extra money, and then I will earn a small referral bonus, right, for having referred you to Ally Bank. So if you want to support my work and my channel, that's another great way to do that. And also, I do have these referral links for all the credit cards that I have. Again, just because I have them doesn't mean that it works for you, okay? There is no such thing as the best travel rewards credit card. Every credit card is like a tool. It does a different thing, it works a different way, and it benefits you a different way. So if you need help figuring out which credit cards you should maybe consider for this World Cup, that's why I got my consultations, okay? $40 for 30 minutes. I'll help you out. We'll set you up with a customized plan just for you. Just because I have the Amex Gold, don't mean it might work for you. And also, the Amex Platinum is not the best travel credit card. Just because it's Platinum doesn't mean it's the best, okay? All right. Final questions, folks. No, we do not know pricing on anything, okay? We do not know pricing on anything, folks. I apologize. Again, if you're interested in these RTPs, sure, but again, do the math and don't rush it because you got 15 minutes. So at top of the hour is when these RTPs come up. But just make sure you do all the math and make sure that it makes absolute sense for you. Our opening game tickets on sale September 10th, we don't know. Okay, I know it's frustrating. I'm just like, I'm telling most of y'all, I don't know. But that's really where we're at. We don't know. I'd rather tell you that I don't know rather than say like, oh yeah, definitely we're doing that or we're not doing that. We don't know. We don't know if they're going to be on sale. They have not yet sold hospitality tickets for any of the host nation matches. So that's also interesting, right? Not for U.S., not for Team Canada, not for Team Mexico. So we don't know if they're going to make them available on September 10th or they're just trying to induce that demand even more so. No se sabe. Other questions, folks. Other questions. All right. Happy to take it up to a full hour. We got like maybe another, we got another 6 minutes on the live before we hit the 1 hour mark, and then we can end it there. Can we assume that game times will be around the same as it was for the Club World Cup unless they change it? Yes, which is terrible because that means that there's going to be games at noon, there's going to be games at 3 o'clock. But for now, we can assume it's about to be the same. Jonathan, Toronto or Vancouver to visit for the World Cup match in Canada? Ooh, Canada, folks, if anyone's in the chat, let me know. Help Jonathan with that question. I loved Vancouver. Very beautiful. I'm not saying Toronto's not. I'm just saying I like the nature of Vancouver. If that survived, I liked Vancouver a lot. Is an opening ceremony going to be impossible? It's going to be very difficult. That's why I suggest the Absolute Sport packages if you really want to go to the Mexico final. Again, they have the hotel and the game day transit. You cannot separate it. It's a travel package. If you're interested in that and you don't have a place to stay in Ciudad de Mexico, then yeah, DM me for that information. But if you're just trying to get the ticket, then it's not going to work for you because we don't do just tickets. I think I'm going to book a consultation. Dale! But should I start looking at hotels now? Yeah, start looking at hotels now. Absolutely. You can start looking at hotels, then book a consultation with me, and then we can talk about what your options might be. Absolutely. How hard do you think it'll be to get to the Mexico World Cup tickets? Absolutely difficult. It's the most in-demand tickets in sports history. Jose Estrada, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Jay, there we go. We got literally one consultation just got booked right now. Dale, thank you. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate it. One consultation just got booked right now. I hope it's not like, what is it, for next Thursday. Dale! Thank you. Again, folks, I'm helping people out right now. How many days we got? All right. How many days we got left? How many days until June 11, 2026? 328 days. How many days do we have till September 10? 54 days left to go before we buying tickets, chat. So that means you got to start saving that money now. You got to start making that extra money now. Go cut some grass. Go water some grass. Ooh, that might not be... Don't take it the wrong way. I meant cut yards. Jesus Christ. Trying to help people here. Anyway. Next year's going to be amazing. GTA 6. That is true. GTA 6 is going to come out. World Cup. New Avengers movie. Está tremenda. 2026, bro. And American democracy is being shattered to pieces. So. Oh, man. Hey, man. Great season finale, though. Hey, great season finale, though. We had the World Cup and American democracy going to collapse in the same damn year, yo. Amazing stuff, man. The vibes, bro. Shit. Final questions. But yes, the Mexico tickets are going to be the most difficult ones, chat. Of course they are. Everyone wants to be in Mexico. No one wants to be here. Everyone wants to be in Mexico. Oh, man. Hey, Torres. Hey, I'm not even repeating that comment on TikTok. Hey, I don't know, man, but many of y'all wanted to believe this man with the files and stuff, and he didn't take out the files. Jasmine, thank you for the consultation. That's 2 consultations we're booking alive. Thank you, Jasmine. Really appreciate it. Any update on commemorative tickets? I don't know, Keanu. I know a lot of you do want, like the paper tickets. Definitely, I wanted to, pero no sé. Dale. Hey, Will, send me a DM and I can email you because, folks, quick thing on the Absolute Sport packages. I earn a commission off of those sales of the packages. So if you want to support your boy, that's why I want you, email me. I send you the info, and then that's a great way to support my work. Obviously, not gonna say no. So that way you hook me up with the commission. So if you want to support my work, hey, hit me up with the email, and then I will send you the information again if you are interested in the Absolute Sport. In the Absolute Sport packages, okay? Okay, thank you, Will. Thank you. Appreciate that. A ver. That's the BN Sport article, 353.82. Okay, I might have to do a video on this. Okay. Am I able to book multiple game cities with the Absolute Sport package? Yes. Yes, you can. So send me a DM for that as well, okay? Absolutely. Okay. Nabil. A ver, opening match 353. That would be much cheaper than I thought it would be. Group stage 82. That doesn't sound right, though. That seems too cheap. In my opinion, not saying you're wrong, Nabil, but let me take a look at that article and we'll go from there. But if this BN Sports article is to be believed, and again, we're about to end the live, so it's a bit of a cliffhanger here. The tickets might be cheaper than what we all thought. Good news. But again, we need to verify that info. Dale, you dub. Thank you for that. Danny took care of me with Absolute Sport. It was worth it, especially seeing prices for hotels now. And that's why I partnered with them. It's about the hotels, the game day transit. You don't want to be dealing with all that nonsense. So thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Who you got? Final question. Who do I got winning the World Cup? It's Argentina's to lose. Until further notice, it's Argentina's to lose. Let me know in the chat who you want to win. In the meantime, thank you all so much. Appreciate it. I got a consultation to hit up right now. Thank you, Nabil, for that article. All right. We'll see about those prices. Maybe they're ones from before, but thank you for that. I got them going back to back. It's Argentina's to lose. How much can we charge to park in front of SoFi Stadium? Ahí sí, hermano, no te digo. Mira, cóbrale más a la gente que no nos quiere en este país. Eso sí. Si tú ves un maldito de esos con una gorra roja, cóbrale un poquito más. Pero hook it up for the Latinos, ¿no? Hook it up for the Latinos. Pero a los de las gorras rojas, cóbrales más. Anyway, I know mi gente. Muchas gracias. Nabil, thank you. I just saw the DM. Muchas gracias. Yeah, that's way too cheap. That's what I'm thinking too, pero Cliffhanger. Let me investigate. Dale, mi gente. Ahí nos vemos. Muchas gracias.